All right. Well, howdy, y'all. Howdy again. How's everybody doing? Since my last video, I'm gonna jump. I want to say I want to jump right into it, but I always blab a little bit. Um, I started something on TikTok, or I just posted a video on TikTok. I'm not really, what you call it? I'm not really used to short form videos. To be honest, I really don't like it. But I mean, there wasn't really a short form. It was like 12 minutes. Um, well, I figured, might as well. Let's go ahead and start posting on TikTok too. Uh, Obviously, it won't be as long as most of my videos on YouTube. I don't know. Long form videos, I just seem to like a lot more. You know? Uh, I got a tomato. Anyway, sorry. But yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and do a video. It's been like 2 days. We still haven't got the chip drop or the pallet of free soil yet. So, like I said, I waited like 2 days already, or I think it's been like 3 days, whatever. And I just want to go ahead and do an update on what's going on in the garden. So it's an actual episode of what's growing in the garden. Um, and I guess I'm gonna edit some of this for TikTok too. So that's gonna be interesting today. Where am I gonna start? To start over here, let me turn this around. It's kind of crazy how everything's kind of been uh, evolving and in the a little bit. I don't know. Things just aren't okay out there, and out there outside the garden. Things are just kind of getting crazier and crazier, man. So if I didn't reiterate already, before I get into doing this garden thing, if you haven't started a garden already, it might be time to start one. Start with stuff that you know, like, stuff you grow the most. Um, think about being more conservative about some of your items, you know, like, I don't know, you can make seasonings and stuff. You got basil, you got a dehydrator, or you got a toaster oven. That's a dehydrator. So, use that. Think about stuff in your kitchen, make your own seasonings. It's not probably, it is a lot healthier, you know, stuff like that. Or if you don't have that kind of stuff, get with your local people, you know, see what you can trade, or see what things you can trade for produce or stuff that they made, like homemade stuff, because we all know that is healthier. And things keep going. As things keep going, who knows what's going to be coming next. So anyway, that is my complimentary uh complimentary trying to think of what do you call it, quote before I get into this garden thing. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Stop blabbing my mouth. So I'm gonna start here at my cucumbers, which they all seem to be doing really, really good. Make sure my phone's gonna be doing good because I'm out here at 12 o'clock. It's hot out here. No surprise there. So yeah, cucumbers doing good. Happy for that. Pretty soon I'm gonna have to put those up on my little tomato trellis that I'm using for my. So hopefully that won't be an issue. I got a little tiny one right there. My tomato plants are huge. I know that they're gonna start producing here in a little bit. Like, I can't seem to find enough spikes to get these things contained, man. But I'm happy about that. I don't even know. This was my walkway. I used to get through here. Now I don't know if I can get through here now while moving some stuff around. So hang on. We're going to go to this back patch of tomatoes. Ugh. Whoops. Ah, man. I knocked over my... Ugh, there we go. I'm going to have to figure that out. That is a tomato plant. I was wondering what that was, and that's a tomato plant. So that's funny. I think that's one too. That is not. That's a weed. I think that's a weed. Oh, sounds like we got to wait. This looks like mustard greens. It's funny, you find out the stuff you drop. But yeah, basil's right here. That's looking good. You got your garlic here, still doing okay. Obviously, there's still a lot of corn here. It's still pretty thick. Yeah, I know. I didn't thin it out. I'm not bugging about it. I'm going to have to fertilize everything here in a little bit. Next couple of days. I got to put in some cut up okra. Anyway, let me get back to this. Mustard seeds down there. Mustard greens down there. Tomato plants are still doing okay. They're growing up all right, which is great. I want to say that there is lemongrass. I thought I had other seeds that I put back there, but I probably wasn't giving it enough water. So yeah, and this over here is the okra plant. I already have to pick more okra. If you can already see it, you can see it right there. Those little pods, right? Surprisingly, I think once okra gets accustomed to your soil, the pods end up, make sure that's a little bit more secure. The pods end up actually being a little softer because the last season, oh, look, man, this guy's pulling on me. Shoot, that's what I didn't want it to do. Hang on. All those things are just growing wild, like my hair. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, last season, okra pods did not, they weren't as tender on the plant. You take them off the plant, they still were kind of, weren't as tender. But this year's a little different. And this thing is, anyway. Okay, now we're moving back over here. I got to be careful and watch my basil plants, the ones that's kind of been in direct sun, because they're kind of blossoming, and I don't want them to do that. But under this direct heat, they kind of stress out, and then they want to blossom. So we're gonna make it through those corn patch. Let me show off some of these pumpkin vines. Sure, kind of okay. Some of them died off. It's the ones further down in there, they died off. And then we have the ones growing up here. Those are okay. I did water some things yesterday. I'm trying the best I can to water in the afternoon. I didn't really do much watering. I did water early in the morning, but not in the afternoon. But, gosh. Yeah, you can see these pods are already getting a little bigger. I got to go in there and collect those. But here's the other side. They did take to the trellis, which is good. I'm trying to keep this as moist as I can. Hopefully, I'm going to have to feed them eventually. Hopefully, they'll start producing again. I think they'll start producing later on when it gets cooler. I set up a little something here for my flowers to kind of start growing, kind of to protect what I want to plant in here, which I don't know what I really did put in here. I don't think I put much in this bed. If I were to be honest, I didn't put really much in here, but whatever's going to grow is going to grow. But over here, which I did the same thing. So it should be zinnias should be coming up, probably some sunflowers too. But my idea is I planted thick enough to kind of protect this barrier from this guy and the other ones around there somewhere. Did them from like kind of keeping them away from my garden so much, or keeping their urine away, because you know male dogs like to urinate on everything if they're not fit. Well, he's not fixed, but he's still in the mannerism of peeing on everything, and we don't want that. So yeah, I did a little heavy, dump some heavy soil here, so things should be coming up pretty soon. That'll just kind of grow up. Whatever breaks down, the roots and stuff can hold moisture for this side. And this is all mustard greens. Not everybody is cool with mustard greens. I don't care. That's all the seeds that I had left. As far as greens go, I've been craving greens, so that's what I'm gonna go with. That's what I'm gonna stick with. What else? I got this new idea here. Everything over here. I'm not gonna go too far into there. But as you can see, these were in the greenhouse, and the soil that was in there, I decided to put in this bed here. So if there are seeds still in there, hopefully they'll grow up out of there. And also the baseboards down here should help protect them from growing up being messed with too much. But when the leaves come out of the fence, you know, that's something different. I also gotta staple that together. But at least these, you see how thick these mustard greens, I planted them pretty thick, and it kind of crowds out all the grass weeds that I don't want in here. That was the whole idea. So as they grow up and get bigger, they'll crowd out all the greens and the weeds, take care of that, so I don't have to go through and weed everything and keep that barrier closed, you know, for planting stuff. Again, I was saying over here is I decided to put the little cardboard what do you call them, planters, cardboard planters in the ground. I put seeds in there. I did not mark it. Don't be mad at me, Jill. I didn't mark it, so it is what it is right now. But when they start growing up, which actually some already did, as you can see, jumping around, I cut potatoes, another potato plant over there. And I also used another cardboard box. I think we got that from Amazon. So I put cardboard underneath and cardboard on the side, just to kind of, my idea is that it'll hold moisture in from the bottom and kind of keep a little moisture, I hope, just like a barrier. That was my idea, was kind of do a little barrier thing, and I got wood to kind of hold it in place. So it's like a little walkway over here. I don't know if I'm going to do anything over there. Trees are doing okay. Everything got watered yesterday, so either tomorrow or the day after that they'll get watered, but everything's doing all right. Yeah, but as I was saying, as everything grows up here, I'll just keep it watered. I don't have to worry about necessarily getting them, separating them too much, because they're already be in the ground. So the only thing is just to keep it moist. If I can find a way to cover them, which actually I think I can, which the idea just hit me, so I'll probably handle that today. And then in another couple of days, we'll come back and I'll show you what I did. But right now, I'm keeping all this moist. There's a little lizard guy over there. I got a lot of lizards and a lot of frogs. And I also have a mouse that's been eating my cantaloupe, so I know who the culprit is. Yeah, so as those grow up, I'll just keep everything watered. If their things are too thick, I have this area here that's kind of nothing's growing there, so I can just transplant them straight back into the soil from the growing containers back into there. So they're not really switching soil or different locations. So they're all going to be right there. But it's like cauliflower, lettuce. It's a multitude of things. When they grow up and get bigger, I'll be able to tell the difference. I know a lot of people are like, oh, you should, put markers down. I know. I don't always do that. I don't actually do that at all. Maybe it's like some weird game I like to play in my head, because as soon as the plants get bigger, I'll be able to tell what kind of plant it is. Everything that I put in here is transferable. So my idea is I seeded everything pretty thick so I can just transplant in between the little growing pods. I have this patch here that is empty, nothing's there. So I can put stuff here, I can put stuff in a row here, and I can put stuff in a row here. And if I need to move over, I can put stuff over there. I'll do something for shade over here, probably off camera, like I normally do. This is all the corn I chopped down. I had an idea to start planting in the greenhouse, which one of those areas is going to be carrots. Maybe I'll do one row for carrots and another row for something else. And I don't know. I'll see what I can figure out in there. But that's an ongoing project. So we'll come back to that. Again, this okra over here, which the pods have been really soft, I will say the most. And they're big, they're pretty big pods. This one's pretty big, but it's soft. I don't know if you can see. Get out of the way. But I don't want to leave them on there till they get like a foot long, because I'll come back and they'll be like 12 feet long, and then they'll probably be like, they'll probably be ready to knock me out or something like that. As fast as they grow, they'll be 6 feet tall or whatever. Ugh. Oh, I know I'm moving a little fast, a little scatterbrained. It's been a couple of days since I've been out here. I kind of turned this front area into a little bit of a flower bed. Basil is still growing. Tomato plant. The transplants for the bush beans I wanted to put in here. I only put them in there just to kind of help keep nitrogen in the soil. So I'll probably put seeds in there too, and just have them, do their thing. If I can remind myself to water them, because obviously they don't look great. But I'm going to put a couple more in there. And my idea is just companion plant bush beans or soybeans in these two for my banana trees to help that soil throughout the year as they grow. As you can tell, they're doing great. They don't really, they're doing awesome. But it's just an experiment. I want to see how well that goes. So there's that. My tomato bed over here. Now that I strung everything up, my basil's still doing good. Now that, see, it has some shade and it doesn't seem so stressed that it wants to produce blossoms. So that's cool. But yeah, I got another one right there. We got tomatoes all over here. I got tomatoes over there. I'm gonna probably have to give this water today, so that might be one thing I'll have to do. Other than that, they're doing great, except for that one in the back. But don't worry, we'll give that some water. I do have some water already out and ready, and I got this one tomato that's been on there for a while that's out there, so I'll probably pick that too. This okra plant's getting more, and the pod is soft. This okra plant's getting more sunlight, so now that's ready to go. Add that to the collection of okra plants that I got. I chopped all this down, as you can see. I think I already mentioned the trellis in the back, so we'll go, actually we can go through this way. Cantaloupe vines are doing well. Since I was able to find the culprit that was damaging my melons and cantaloupe. Instead of just doing one, I added like two or three nettings. I'm hoping that'll work, and help protect them, also keeping them off the ground. So I'm not inviting anything to just come and eat my stuff. I moved this over here to kind of grow up. As you can see, I have this one here planted there. That's wrapped up. I have another watermelon. I'm starting to get watermelon all over the place now. This guy, I didn't even see him, but I'm glad I did yesterday. So netted him up and put him on a little planter. For right now, that's just gonna have to work. There's basil all through here. This is crabgrass, so we're gonna pull that out. And then you can see the squash and zucchini that are growing over here, and the trellis that's going to be waiting to give them support, and the cantaloupe vine that's growing up there good and well. My corn, which is doing great. I got a little water feeder that kind of drips water into the soil to keep the topsoil somewhat cool. Seems to be doing all right. Again, I'm surprised that everything went, that this little patch actually did as well as it's doing. I'm gonna have to feed it. So there's that. Watermelon vine, obviously I already mentioned that. This is the same vine, it just split off. One came this way, another came that way. I got more mustard seed I planted here since no peppers sprouted up. I sprinkled some eggplant, and also some radish seeds are in there too. So there's some in there. Hopefully I'll get eggplant this year. I would really like to. That would be great. Pumpkins beyond here are doing okay. I'm not really doing much to really help them out. If they grow, they grow. They don't, they don't. I got this bare spot here. I planning to put lettuce over here, but I'll get to it. What else? Actually, let me take this guy over here. He's been running out and about, and don't want him going down in the ground. So my corn starting to shoot up. I just gave it water yesterday. I watered this area yesterday. I still haven't harvested my horseradish greens yet, but I will. There's a vine that's kind of sort of dead. The cantaloupe over there, it looks like it's gotten bigger since then. I got another watermelon vine right here. Cantaloupe vines are here doing good. My red okra plants are huge now. I know there's some pods in there I gotta get. They're in there somewhere, you can see. But this is red okra, red burgundy, as they say. I'll come back and take care of that. I'm only out here to harvest the okra today and give some things some water. There is another cantaloupe right there. The vine seems to be taken to this, which I'm happy that it is. Yeah, so I'm again keeping my vines off the ground so they can not deal with so much damage. And I got another cantaloupe I got to get there. I counted how many I have coming in, and it's quite a bit. That was actually the two that I seen. That will make it 14. So that's cool. I think this is Genovese basil. Here, I might have to go through and do another name drop for all my plants. All the things that I recognize that they're old enough. But yeah, Genovese basil here, that's growing okay, but it needs, I got to pick off the blossoms. And this is horseradish greens. I really have I don't think that's don't want it to be an issue. Get off, buddy. But I've been adamant about watering them a lot because I'm about to pick them. I still have comfrey that I have to deal with, which I'm going to turn that into fertilizer and then mix it in. So there's that too. Yeah, this is my little watering tank here. I just kind of poked a hole in the bottom and I dump water in there so water can just go straight into the ground. So there's that. Um, yeah, these greens are getting bigger and bigger, which I'm glad. I've been craving greens a lot this past week. So something's telling me to pick greens. I'm going to follow my nose and pick some eventually. I haven't done it yet. I'm a little slow on the approach. I don't want anything to come in and nom them up, but it doesn't seem like much really cares for them. I think they're just because they're too spicy. I don't know. I'm glad though. What was this called? This is oregano. One of the small ones I got left, so that's cool. Or parsley or oregano is one of them. It smells like oregano, if I would be honest. Comfrey blossoms here. I just been clipping those off. I'm gonna come through and, like I said before, I'm gonna clip these leaves off, take care of that. I'll probably come out and do it in the morning, maybe sometime this week, and add that to my liquid fertilizer bins over there. I moved one over there. If that wasn't already noticeable, I don't know if people are like on my channel like that. We also have my cantaloupe vines are running up here to the trellis. I transplanted this guy. He obviously needs some water. He needs help. I just transplanted him. If you ever transplant a tomato plant and it's out in the summer like this, you gotta keep it watered, keep water on it. I know it looks kind of rough, but as long as I keep water in there, it'll snap back. So I'll make a mental note to water that today. But yeah, the vines are traveling up here. I got another one traveling up there. Another one's on the fence. But I tightened up the trellis, and these guys should be ready to get put on the trellis to grow up. So I'm gonna have to get them up there. Figure that out later. And as you can see here, my okra, red okra, these are first year and these are still soft. So that's kind of what I like about these. They haven't gotten that big and it's their first year, but the pods are still soft enough to, harvest, or you can drop them in a bag, a Ziploc bag in a refrigerator, drop them in there for a few days and they'll soften up and you can cut them. Again, these guys are got to come through and get these blossoms off because I still don't want them to keep blossoming. But then again, I do want pollinators, so I'm not too adamant about doing that. I have a lot of basil. If I didn't get one thing that wasn't a lot, it was tons of basil. I'm happy for that because I am working on making my own seasonings. I did once already. Came out pretty good. Another cantaloupe. I saw some damage on here because at first I put a planter up there and decided to keep it off the ground. And I saw some damage on there, so I decided to put the netting on there. I think I have like 3 or 4 nettings. And there's a watermelon right next to it. There's another one right there. And there's another big boy down over there. So my idea is to keep netting on it, keep it off the ground, keep this vine under control. What else? Bush beans, doing good. I'm glad I do have bush beans here next to my pepper plants. They kind of keep nitrogen into the ground. I do have some blossoms I did see a couple. I saw a couple. Not really for them. I saw a couple of peppers starting over there. I don't want to stress them out on camera. Here's some more okra plants that are ready to get picked. Another one back over there. They're all huge. Um, it's only been a couple of days since I picked from them, and there's more ready to get picked. Again, I have a lot since I've been watering just the vines of my watermelon vines and stuff. I've been adamant about watering those. As you can see, it's definitely kind of helped the other surrounding plants too. Honestly, the vine acts like growing mulch. I just kind of wish they would take care of some of this crabgrass, but that's probably my fault. That's something I got to deal with. I moved my shampoo ginger out here in the sun so I can get more sun so they can do their thing. And I also mulched it. It looks like it's doing okay. I got tons of blossoms. I got more basil here. I'm gonna dump some. Oh my gosh, I just saw these. Look at these. See how huge this is? I don't think this one's, that's too big. But I still got to take it off. Yeah, but they're huge, man. So I had to do that today. There's some that are and some that aren't soft. Obviously, those are too big. The ones that are too big, I just chop them up, throw them straight into my compost. Yeah, I'm gonna miss out on some today, but I just processed the bag and put it in the freezer, so that's cool. No big deal. There'll be more. Um, all my vines that I planted here coming up, they're okay. I watered those yesterday. I'm gonna have to go over there. See that big boy over there? We're gonna go visit that. Also, I don't know if you guys can tell, it kind of looks like a heart shape, doesn't it? Ever since it collapsed in the middle, does it like a little heart shape thing, or is that just me? I don't know. Like it's kind of cute, but I'm too tall to walk through there, so we're not gonna do that. I think this vine here, this guy, I'm gonna let it do its thing, stay right there. But cantaloupe and watermelon vines growing through there, and this is just going crazy with growth. That's what happens when you water them once. Watered this area over here, through here. Oh, I have another watermelon there and another one here. So I'm hoping this netting is a good deterrent, because I saw the mouse, but I can't necessarily catch it. And I don't have the materials, or I don't have the, not the materials, the capital business vocabulary. I don't have the capital necessarily to buy any materials. I have just been reusing what I can, what's already either in here or what comes out of the kitchen. I've just been reusing what I can for fertilizer, for deterrents, stuff like that. And I don't have the exact thing I need to deter these or this mouse, because I believe I only have one mouse. Hopefully. But I heard Seven Dust gets rid of them and they don't come back. But my vines are growing right here. I had a watermelon there, but it had blossom rot, so I picked it off. I put some lettuce here. I'm not too great at watering them, so we got another. Is that a cantaloupe? I don't know what that is. We'll find out later when it gets bigger. It's over there. Watermelon vines are growing all over the place. Oh, here is another tomato plant. I'm probably gonna transfer him. Wish him the best of luck. This guy is in my way. I have another watermelon plant right there. It doesn't look like he's getting that big, to be honest. But we'll just leave him over there. My cantaloupe that was over there, the dogs got. My lovely dogs, knuckleheads. They are very annoying. I will say the least. I mean, honestly, like, they've been cool. I'm not gonna say annoying. They are annoying sometimes. You know, get through here. Oh, my patch here. Oh, the strawberries are doing okay. My ginger doing great. Hopefully it'll spread. But I have definitely got to get some water over here. Water this area over here because the ground is cracking and stuff. But yeah, this is dry, so I'm gonna have to water this area over here too. But they still been doing okay enough to, kind of be all right. But I want to make sure to take care of the issue of getting rid of that pest so they don't eat up my strawberry plants. But hopefully they'll start vining. I think they already have. My tomato plant is there. I need to water this area over here because the vine isn't doing that great over here. I have another cantaloupe there, but it's tiny. This whole area, another one right there. Yeah, this whole area is mostly cantaloupe. I thought I saw, it might have been cantaloupe. Thought I saw a cucumber over here. Wishful thinking. But anyway, watermelon vine and this big boy, as you can see, it was attacked by the mouse. But it didn't get in there and it's doing okay. So we're going to let it do its thing. But I got it off the ground, chilling. It's the best I could do. And just netted the living hell out of it. Because, they don't like the netting. They don't like the taste of it. So that kind of does deter them, which is cool. I got some tomato plants that transferred that I put here. This guy's not doing too good. Also, cantaloupe vine that needs to go further up. They've been growing pretty wild. Like, if I do say so myself, I was worried just from how much damage my vines are getting taken, or the cantaloupes are getting hit so bad. I was kind of worried, but not really worried that much anymore. I knew I was going to get another wave, so I was worried and wasn't worried at the same time. This is very dry. I barely give this any water. And you can see I keep getting crabgrass here that I need to pick out. But I'm going to drop some, the soil's still moist. I'm going to drop some compost over this way. And again, I normally take all the weeds and drop them in my liquid fertilizer anyway, which is what I'm going to do. So yeah, that's this side. Haven't really done much with this raised bed over here. I water this, but it hasn't got most of my attention. I just water it and move on. This one I water it and move on. There's going to need some water today, so I'll water them today. But yeah, and this is all the growth from that one vine that grew over there. It's like a whole new vine. So took to the trellis really good. Hopefully I can keep it on there. We'll see. I don't even know what kind of watermelon it is. I haven't seen anything. That's the first one. This tiger striped one is the first one that I've seen. It might be orange flesh like the other ones. We'll see. What else? I think that is it over here. Go past up. Over here. back through this way. It is nice to actually have more than one way to walk through here. But yeah, I don't know. I might leave the little heart-shaped trellis it turned into it, so I might leave it for right now so I can a better idea on what to do. Oh, drop that there. Oops. Is that everything? I'll leave a little thing of water here to hopefully keep this watered. I don't know if it's doing a good job or not. I believe it is. So what we're gonna do right quick is kind of poke a little hole at the bottom. There. And that'll drain into there. I think that's a sweet potato vine, which I didn't think any made it, but it did, so that's cool. Yeah. You see that hole down in the bottom? That should get some of the water to drain in there slowly. You can see that there. So, yeah, I've been doing my best to keep things going. Yeah, I do think this is a sweet potato vine. I'm surprised. I didn't think I was going to get any. Yeah, and it's two separate ones, so that makes me happy. That's cool. I need to find some more soil to put in here. Who knows when that's going to happen. These guys should be ready to blossom soon because I think they blossomed in September. I'm surprised. I'm almost at an hour on this video. I already showed this already. I was already over there. Another shot of the banana trees. And this is kind of how everything is. It's one wide shot. It's how everything is. Didn't give anything any water today, but I watered it yesterday. All that nature is surrounding. I got a lot of dragonflies, a lot of butterflies. So I do have pollinators. I do have some friendly predatory bugs out here, which is cool. I got a lot of cantaloupe. That makes me happy. You can tell I'm sweating like crazy. So after last week that I had, which was rough, because I think I was talking about what, four of my cantaloupes got eaten, and I saved 2 or 3. I got 2 small ones in the refrigerator. I still haven't processed, chopped up yet. I don't know what I'm gonna do with those. I'll figure it out. But they came out really, really good, so I was really happy about that. But yeah, honestly, that's it. That's all I got going on. That's my garden. Hang on. So look at that shot of nature. It did. Ah, darn. Oh, there it is. Yeah, nature, y'all. Take it in. Sweet. Yeah, anyway. That's my video. And this will be on YouTube. But I'm gonna edit this for TikTok. Again, I'm not a big fan of I'm not really a big fan of short form videos, but you know, it is what it is. I already posted 1 video, so I might as well keep up with the rest. But yeah, my little, words of precautionary action. Get in touch if you have any neighbors that like to grow things. Get to know those people. And the people who already grow stuff, I don't know when the necessary action will come for the growing community to kind of necessarily come together. Who knows? But it's probably soon, as things kind of progress the way they're progressing. But, it might be an idea. Talk amongst yourself, amongst your neighbors who do grow stuff about doing neighborhood markets, not like, where you got to fight through traffic to get there. I don't really count that as a neighborhood market. You know, if you got to go through traffic and sit there 10, 15 minutes, school traffic, whatever, in my mind, that's not necessarily a neighborhood market you got to get to. Um, I mean, a neighborhood that's a market that's in the neighborhood. You can walk there and be there in like maybe 2 or 3 minutes. You know, I think it's a good idea to kind of maybe start planning, take some necessary action towards that. I mean, one thing that right now for fall crops, you know, that you can do, um, I don't know. I really think it's a good idea to kind of look into that, talk with people, organize some things, um, and just prepare. You know, if you feel like your food quality is somewhat under attack and everybody's affected, everybody likes food. You know what I mean? People that can raise chickens, people that raise rabbits for meat, you know, um, think about alternative things you can do, because you're definitely going to have to worry about an alternative meat source if you haven't been paying attention. But again, that's my opinion. Um, that's my idea. I feel like it's a decent idea uh, to kind of take into consideration. You know what I mean? So good luck to anyone and everyone who's growing stuff, started growing stuff, been growing stuff. You know what I mean? Good luck to everybody out there. I got a bunch of links on my account. You want to start your own business, stuff like that. Master classes. I'm not teaching them. They're affiliate links of the program that I went through. I'll probably talk more about that in another video. Maybe I'll do that for TikTok or something. Who knows? But yeah, you know, it's just an idea. I show you my garden. It's not perfect, but you know, I'm still proud of it. Still something that I did. Most of all this was free sourced, um, you know, from local areas, stuff like that. It doesn't really cost. It's like low cost. You know what I mean? A lot of these methods that I do for my garden is low cost stuff that's either you brought in your kitchen, you're taking back out, you know, like a real way of to recycle, to reduce and reuse, like the actual way I feel like you're probably supposed to recycle, is to put it to use, to be able to use it again, be able to use it for other means, you know, repurposing and stuff like that. I think that is a good way for a lot of communities to kind of get into notion to start doing. So again, don't want to fearmonger, but that's just my opinion. I did a few polls, been on the interweb to talk about the subject, and you know, I'm not the only person that thinks that way. So it's a little comforting to notice to get a response. People be like, you know what, I feel the same way. So you know, I will reiterate the fact that learn how to repurpose stuff, learn how to make your own fertilizer, compost, you know, reuse things that you can reuse back into your garden, back into your soil, because you know, you pretty much, your soil is going to be given back to you. So you know, as we do this as a community, more than just one person comes together, you know, you'll be able to feed a neighborhood, you'll be able to feed, you know, you'll be able to do a lot. People come together. So you know, that's my thing. This is What's Growing in Garden. I think this is episode 22, 23. I don't know. We're in the 20s now. I'm in the 20s. We're in the 20s. Whatever. But yeah, but that's it. That's all I got today, guys. Good luck. Good luck to myself for editing all this and having to water certain areas in the garden because it's probably 90,000 degrees out here. So I will talk to you guys later. My phone's super hot. And I'll see you guys on the next episode. I will definitely let you know when I get all my other materials in. um, and get ready to use them. So goodbye, everybody. See you later. Good luck. Good luck with everything you're doing.